Hey guys, welcome to a new pro revenge video. Try to steal our $400 security deposit by being a dick. Fine, now you can pay us $1,300. So this story takes place like 5 years ago, when my husband and I were broke college students with a young baby. We worked hard to afford our shitty little duplex, $600 a month, and necessities, while trying to finish our degrees to one day get ahead. Our duplex was one in an entire neighborhood, owned by a large company, and managed by a super sketchy married couple who lived on the same street. Before our kid was born, we did the normal excited new parent thing of painting his nursery and decorating. Blah blah. Our lease stated we needed permission to paint, which we obtained from the property manager, the husband of the couple. He insisted it would be fine, and, being young and naive, we didn't get it in writing, because he was so chill about it. So we paint, and move on with our lives. A little while later our lease was up, and we had given notice to the kid as we were moving closer to my husband's school. The property manager was understanding, everything was fine, and we scheduled our move out inspection. Prior to this inspection, we specifically asked him for the name of the paint color we needed to use when repainting the nursery. He flat out refused to give it, saying it was unnecessary to paint as we'd been there so long they'd be painting the whole duplex anyway. Okay, cool. Move out inspection day comes and goes. We left the house in better shape than we found it, aside from a small area of torn carpet right along a seam in a doorway. The property manager inspected and said everything looked great and we should get our whole deposit, $400, back minus a few bucks for the torn carpet. Sounds good, boss. Enter a period of weeks where we waited and waited for our deposit, eventually leaving messages upon messages with false promises or no return calls at all. Eventually, over a month later, this culminated in a phone call with the property manager where he said, and I remember this almost verbatim, "I don't know what you're so worried about anyway. It's only like $200 you're getting back." He cited the painted nursery and the huge mess left behind as deductions, and I coldly informed him we'd be going to court then, because we didn't feel we owed for those reasons. The place was spotless when we left. Aside from the 6-pack of beer we left him in the fridge for being chill. Not 1 hour later, he called back and miraculously our refund check had just shown up in the mail. Already knowing he was trying to fuck us, we installed a recording app on my phone, one-party consent state, and went to the office. The check indeed was only for $200 of our deposit, and included no list of what they charged us for. Important detail. We intentionally goaded him into admitting that he had told us not to paint, and that the house looked great on move out, and went on our happy way, revenge plan already unfolding. We didn't cash the check and instead emailed the CEO of the entire property company, copying in the property manager, and detailing the entire process. The CEO sent back a smartass email with a cute little typed up list of deductions, including all the things we were specifically told we wouldn't be on the hook for. A fun detail was that even by his own math they owed us $230 of our deposit. No one really had an answer for why they then tried to issue a check for $200, but whatever. Joke was on him, because we began digging through all the state regulations on security deposits and refunds, hoping to prove that our length of stay meant he couldn't charge us for wear and tear things like carpet cleaning, etc. And in our search, we instead happened upon a statute requiring landlords to return security deposit refunds and an itemized list of deductions within 30 days, or lose the right to withhold for actual damages, and be subject to treble damages if the landlord is thought to be maliciously withholding the refund. So we typed up a demand letter for our entire security deposit, citing the statute, which he had broken, because we didn't receive any refund offer or itemized list until 6 weekends later. And when he sent a smartass reply, we filed in small claims court for our entire deposit plus treble damages and court costs. Now, I don't know if it's clear at this point, but I can be really fucking petty if I feel like someone is trying to fuck with me. And it was clear this guy made a career out of stealing money from low-income renters who likely could never afford to fight it. I was pissed. I spent the next month before our court date compiling all email correspondence in which he'd fucked himself over numerous times by providing written documentation that he exceeded time limits, charged incorrect amounts, etc. I also compiled phone records showing dozens upon dozens of unanswered and unreturned calls to the property manager and detailed accounts I'd made immediately after hanging up of lies from the property manager. I printed out a screenshot from the company's own website detailing the CEO's role as the legal advisor, so I could innocently claim, shouldn't he have known the statutes for these issues? I printed all the relevant statutes and highlighted the important parts. And then I made 3 fucking copies of everything and nicely compiled each in a binder complete with sleeve protectors and page numbers. One for our own reference, one for the asshole property manager and or CEO, we weren't sure who would show up, and one for the judge himself. We also took our handy little recording of the property manager admitting to all the shit he lied about and then pretended to have never said. Needless to say, the judge laughed at how prepared we were, asked if we were law students, and then awarded us treble damages and court fees as well as interest. I will never forget the CEO's face when we looked over and smiled at him. All his asshole emails and disregard for the law were on the table, and rather than giving us the original $350 or so we were promised from our deposit, he ended up paying us over $1,300 a month later. It was glorious. Oh shit, edit. I completely forgot until my husband and I were just laughing hysterically about this, but the CEO also filed his response to our suit with a counterclaim for $1,225 for expenses incurred as a result of the actions of plaintiff. He never really said how he got to that number, but in his last email before we sued, he did say, "I hope we can avoid litigation in this matter, but we will engage aggressively if forced to do so. Lol." I wasn't sure if people would love this story as much as I do, but here we are. So I'm including my husband's final email to the CEO before court. Damn, he has a way with words. Flight attendant destroys ex-boyfriend's career. So this story didn't happen directly to me, but I was there to witness the mayhem. I apologize for my bad English. It's not my second language, I'm just stupid. Background: I live in Australia. Yes, the up pound up. I work for a small airline company that is a subsidiary to a large airline carrier. My airline operates out of Western Australia. Washington''s main source of income is mining. That means we have a lot of people who fly from Perth, the main city of WA, out to the mine sites. These guys are often known as FIFO workers, fly in fly out. They also earn close to 120,000 Australian dollars annually. Story time. My coworker, Kingston, and I were getting ready to clean an aircraft that had just landed. There was a hold up. This was a busy day, so hold-ups were a bad time. As we looked up the stairs into the galley of the aircraft, there was a passenger talking rather aggressively to some flight attendants and the captain of the aircraft. After another 5 minutes of this style of talking, he departed the aircraft in a huff. Upon entering the aircraft, Kingston and I spoke to the flight attendant, call her Blondie, the one the story is about. We asked her what was up, and she told us that the passenger was being rude during the flight and during the landing process refused to sit in the upright position, which is a major safety hazard for himself and other passengers. When asked to put his seat up, he would respond with "fuck off cunt" and similar remarks. My coworker suggested reporting him and getting him onto the blacklist, which the flight attendant laughed about and said she had already done. She had a glint in her eye that at the time I didn't quite understand. It wasn't till later, when talking with Kingston, that he told me he used to be her neighbor and that the passenger was her ex. He also told me how he used to be really abusive verbally and emotionally. He also said how they were constantly on off and how he would act like he owned her. Well, she had finally gotten rid of him, but obviously her ex had to be FIFO and always flying on our aircraft. She had been dreading a confrontation with him for a while now. Well, it had happened, and in response she reported him and got him onto the blacklist. The blacklist is also known as the no-fly list. That right, she got him banned from flying. That means he lost his job. His $120,000 job. The thing is, FIFO workers generally only have qualifications to do with the mines, meaning he can't get another job. And the job market in WA is in the toilet at the moment. And because he can't fly, he can't get another job out on the mines. At least he can't easily. So essentially, a moment of petty we lost him his high-paying job, any chance with his ex-girlfriend, and possibly any loans he had to pay. Takeaway: don't mess with the aviation industry. Thanks guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram, Dimitri.p4. Subscribe to my best friend It's Mate OMG. Everything will be in the description. Bye guys.